Ickey, Will Palanczyk, WFNZ. Welcome home, first off. I know we saw you kind of get off the plane and do your little walk around here around Charlotte. What has it been like to kind of be back in the building and be back in a place that's very close to where you played your high school ball and where you grew up?
Honestly, it's just surreal. Like something that you only dream about. It's so rare that this can actually happen. And it's just so exciting. I'm just so excited for this opportunity and just I guess be more engraved into the Panthers organization. I'm just excited.
What were your impressions of offensive line coach James Campen? People have said that he brings a different kind of intensity to this room. I know you don't have any previous experience with the previous staff, but in terms of what he brings to the table, what did you like from what he was able to share with you on your visit?
Yeah, it definitely seems like a teacher, someone who knows about the game. I believe he's been in the NFL now, coming on 17 years, something like that. So has the experience, and that was, one of the biggest things that I wanted in an O-line coach, a teacher, someone I feel like who can teach me more and more about, the way to play offensive line. And I'm, just really excited to get the opportunity to work with him.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Hi, Ickey. Vashti. I spoke with you last night. I was wondering if you've heard from any of your new teammates. Has anybody reached out to you so far since you've been drafted? And I have one more follow-up.
Yeah, I had Sam Darnold hit me up, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Zylstra. I know Zylstra. I'm the car bishop his name, but we actually signed to the same agency. So I'm actually it's actually full circle now because he met me when I was being recruited for my agency. I wound up signing with them, and now we're on the same team. So it's kind of crazy, but a lot of different people in the staff, and really just fortunate to be calling my teammates.
Have you given any thoughts to a number yet? I mean, I think 79 is available.
Yeah, if that 7-9 is available, I'm grabbing that one for sure. Kind of just keeping that 7-9 hot, keeping it alive.
Thanks.
Mike Salate, followed by Ellis.
Ickey, how are you? Good to see you. Mike Solarte, Spectre News 1. Congratulations. Welcome back home.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Being the number 6 pick in the NFL draft, with that comes a lot of expectation and a lot of perhaps pressure to be maybe be an immediate impact kind of guy. Are you looking at that are you looking at it as pressure? How are you embracing this moment? Because there's going to be a lot expected of you, I would imagine, coming in.
Yeah, I expected those, the responsibility and stuff. I appreciate, Coach Rule and, Scott and, David Tepper, just everyone in the whole building putting their faith in me at the number 6 spot. And, I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in my abilities to kind of weather the storm and, go through the adversity I need to go through, but ultimately come out a better player. So, I'm really just more excited for the challenge more than anything. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I live up to those expectations.
And then just a quick follow, leaving behind NC State, it's just 2.5 hours away, so I imagine those ties are going to be pretty strong. I imagine that the city of Raleigh and folks back there, like, I don't know, maybe the Carolina Hurricanes might call you for a storm siren sounding or something in the next week or so?
Man, that'd be great. I've never got to do the storm siren before, so honestly, that'd be crazy. A lot of Charlotte kids too. I'm trying to get up to NC State, so get to do a lot of local recruiting. So really just kind of excited to kind of build, keep those bonds strong.
I'm sure Dave Dorn thanks you. Thanks, Ickey.
No problem.
Ickey, Ellis Williams here at the Charlotte Observer. We met at your pro day. It's nice seeing you again.
You too. Yeah, I remember you.
My man, welcome back to Charlotte. Look, for months we've listened to what other people project and predict about what you'd bring to an NFL franchise. Now that you have a home and the draft process is over for you, can you detail what type of football player and person the Panthers drafted at 6 overall in yourself?
I guess my play style more speaks for itself. The violent and the physicality that I play with and the mindset I play with, where I just want to impose my will, run pass, special team, doesn't matter. Everything I can to do to impose my will and do everything I can for this team, I'm going to do it. And I'm looking forward for the next couple of weeks where I get to kind of show my teammates and show the staff here that, I'm exactly who they think I am.
And as you come in on that top 30 visit, you say Sam and Christian have hit you up. What have you learned about the Panthers culture, and how do you think you can add to that?
Well, I just feel like the culture here, I feel like they're building, more connected team, a team built on strength and toughness and, weathering adversity and just everything, just kind of just dealing with the ups and downs and coming out stronger. I'm really just excited to be, a part of that process.
Cool. Appreciate it, man. Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Jonathan Alexander, followed by David Newton.
Jonathan Alexander, Charlotte Observer. Hope you're doing well.
Doing good.
Good. Let me ask you, you mentioned Brandon Zylstra. Did you have any other relationships with any other players who are now your teammates prior to being drafted?
Players, no, but I know a couple staff members, actually. Shout out Chanel and shout out Tim Rabus. They actually came from NC State, met them at NC State, and now that they're here, helping me on my journey again. So I appreciate them.
Hey, David.
Sorry about that. I got one more. Sorry, David. I have one more question. That's my bad. You kind of known for your mean streak on the field. Pancake King, of course. What do you believe kind of helped foster that, help build that kind of mindset and that ability you have?
Well, I always say, started my freshman year of high school, really. My O-line coach, Coach Hastings, and also my head coach, Coach Hastings, the same guy. But kind of just started with that mindset, still that into me. He went to the Citadel, so he had to get out the mud just like that. Playing football and doing military stuff at the same time, it builds a lot of character, it builds a lot of toughness, and just kind of how they play the game of football. We kind of just brought that back to our team. And so he kind of just started that streak in me a little bit, just letting me know that you can play offensive line violent. You don't got to just, get in front of somebody or position block. You can really just smash into someone and impose your will. And also as a freshman, I had a senior on the team, Eric Howe, actually the first person I saw wear 7'9". He was a senior on the team, and he played both ways, offensive line and defensive line. And I kind of just seen how he played as well, how he just plays like just nasty and violent, just always wanted to put guys on the ground. And so kind of seeing that as a freshman, I had, I guess, a play style to look forward to and look up to. And after he graduated, he actually wanted to give me the number 7'9". And so just to kind of just honor his legacy, I figure I kind of just played just like him, just as nasty, just as violent, just as physical. And, it's kind of, my game has kind of just manifested since then.
Thank you.
Hey, David Newton, ESPN.com. I wanted to ask you, kind of following up on that, your mom was talking about that switch that seems to go off in you that takes you from Icom to Ickey on the field. Tell me about that gets you to that, from that Mr. Friendly guy to Mr. Violent guy.
Well, I feel like, growing up playing football, I've always learned to kind of just play it violent. I started off on the defensive line, so, doing everything I can on that side of the ball to impose my will. So kind of just growing up in the game, that's kind of always how I've been taught to play. Just, play with everything you have, with every single emotion, every fiber of your being, every time you're on the field. And I really take that to heart. I feel like if I'm not playing to my hardest and if I'm not doing everything I can, I really feel like I can't look my teammates in the eye and tell them that, I got their back. So for me, for the security of me, for the security of my relationships with my teammates and my coaches and the trust that they have in me, I have to go all out. I have to do everything I can on the field to do everything that I can to win.
What's the most interesting, other than being drafted by your hometown team, most interesting thing to happen over the last 24 hours since the draft?
Not 24 hours. Well, obviously the draft was in Vegas, so my first time kind of gambling a little bit at casino, and I won a pretty good amount of money at the craps table. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's probably the most interesting thing because I never knew how to play craps until that night. Started playing, and I started winning a lot of money. So.
How much did you win?
Ooh, I don't know if I want to talk dollar bills right now, but it was a good amount of money. I put a couple hundred down. I came out with a couple.
Congratulations on that.
Yes, sir.
I think your high school coach told me he emptied his pockets and came home empty.
Yeah, my older brother lost a lot of money too, so I was one of the lucky ones.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Joe Person, followed by Chris Jenkins.
Ecom, do you want us to call? What do you want us to call you, man? I wanted to ask you that first off.
Well, I go by Ekem and Ickey. I guess on the field, I'm more Ickey. I like to mention both. Obviously I have pride in my name, the roots of it, so I like when people call me Ekem. But also I kind of want to honor that nickname too. I've had a nickname for the majority of my life, so I guess any chance I have to kind of mention both, my name's Ikem, but I go by Ickey. I try and do it. So I guess either or, and both if you can.
Okay, thanks for the clarification. And then we heard from Rule and Fitterer last night, and they both were talking about what an impression you made on your top 30. Blew them away at the whiteboard, for instance. Was that right in your wheelhouse when you made these top 30 visits? Like, could you kind of tell us your approach when you went, from town to town? And how many of those did you take?
Yeah, I took a couple 40 visits. The Panthers were actually the last one I had before the draft, so I kind of had them in the back of my head going into it. But yeah, I mean, I always prepare really well. I watch a lot of film, and I sort of critiquing myself a lot. So a lot of the bad plays and good plays as well, I've already watched already. So, when they put a play up on the board and ask me to explain it, I've already watched it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So it's kind of easy to kind of just reflect on the play again and really just give them a thorough answer. So it kind of speaks to how much film I watch of myself and how much film I watch of our scheme and how much I want to learn more and more about my game and the game game of football. And I feel like that knowledge kind of came out during my 30 visit.
Was there anything specific to your visit here that was kind of funny or poignant or that kind of was a takeaway from?
Kind of funny. We were watching my combine tape, and we were watching my 5-10-5 drill. And I don't know, when I was there, I thought it was moving, but I guess watching the camera, it looked like I was going a little bit slower than I thought. So I guess I thought that was pretty funny.
Hey, Ickey, Chris Jenkins with Charlotte Vibe. Those guys before me, man, they really took all of my questions. But one thing I could ask you, though, is, you're now at the NFL, the highest level. What do you see as your prep work is going to look like differently this year going to the pros than things that you did each year preparing in college?
I feel like, some of the prep I did is really similar more than anything, taking care of my body, making sure I'm in the training room doing prehab stuff, making sure my ankles are always flexible and mobile and my shoulders are always flexible and hips and everything, making sure my body's as fresh as it can be. Those are things that I did in college, and those are things I'll continue to do in the NFL as well. Might wind up getting a chef or, something like that, just making sure my meals are up to order, because in college, only so much you can do on a college budget. So that might be the one big step I make from the college to the NFL. But, in terms of preparation, film studies, I always watch a lot of film in college too, and the pros would be no different.
Hey, I know you said Christian McCaffrey reached out to you. He might be a good guy to give you some tips for the diet and taking care of your body.
Might have to start meal prepping or something. Yeah, we'll see.
One other question. Who's your agent?
Mike McCartney.
Okay. Thank you, Ickey.
Yes, sir.
All right, we only have time for a few more. So we're going to go Steve Reed, Nicholas Carboni, followed by Scholar. If I could try to keep it to one question each, that would be great. Thank you.
Steve Reed from the Associated Press. Hey, I was just wondering, is there a offensive lineman that you kind of maybe modeled your game after at the pro level growing up, or as you're coming through college? Is there a guy that you're like, that's the guy I play like?
I feel like probably the biggest guy would probably be Trent Williams for me. People don't like when I say that because it's obviously hard to do what he does, but I feel like the combination he has of finesse and just being a brawler and the way he does things, it's kind of unconventional. You don't see a lot of guys play the way he does, but, he's doing his job. He's been the highest. I think he had like the highest graded offensive line grade ever in the history of the sport. So kind of just goes to show that you can play outside the box a little bit and still succeed. And I kind of feel like I want to do that too. I don't want to just be one type of player, one-dimensional. I pride myself on being versatile and being able to do a lot of different things on the field. So I feel like I probably say Trent Williams.
Nick, go ahead, Nick.
Nick Carboni from NBC Charlotte. Welcome home. Your family obviously means a lot to you. Have you kind of thought about what it'll be like to almost unexpectedly be able to have them right here as you embark on this next chapter? And your mom told us last week that even through the draft process and becoming a first-round pick, that Tuesday was still your day to take out the trash. I'm wondering if you are officially out of that duty at this point, even though you're back home.
Yeah, every time I come home, I gotta take the trash out, do the dishes like I never left. So I'm sure, I'm sure that's not going to change. But it'd be nice, being 30, 35 minutes away from a home cooked meal. Plan on getting a lot of those during my time here, so definitely excited.
Hey, Ickey Scholar County with Sports Illustrated again. Just wanted to get your thoughts on coming into a situation where you got someone like Taylor Moton. I know he's on the right side, but he's been in the league, he's established, and someone that you can learn from. Just talk about having someone like that in the locker room with you.
Honestly, it's exciting going into an environment where you have an established vet in the league and a guy that's been doing it well for so long. I'm excited to be able to kind of pick his brain a little bit, talk about different things about the differences between college and the NFL, and kind of really just pick his brain and just learn more and more about the position.